Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, inhabitants of the Buea municipality. We are at the Buea Royal Palace, and we are here to talk with the Paramount Chief, His Royal Majesty Chief Dr. Isuka Robert Ndidi, who's going to be telling us about the Mbando Festival. Stay with us and we will hear from him. Thank you. So today we are going to be asking you a few questions on the Mbando Festival, and we'd like you to tell us, tell the Buea community, the Mukwe clan, what you think about the Mbando, and of course what is expected of the people, the chiefs, and all the indigents for the Mbando to be a success. So when you're ready, I'm ready.
Well, the Mbando to the Bakweri people is not just a cultural event that happens once a year. The Mbando is actually a way of life of the Bakweri people. From the time of our ancestors, which is hundreds of years ago, when the Bakweri man has a problem, say you have a problem in your family, you go to your family grave, maybe your father or your grandfather's grave, and pour libation and cry on it. But if it's a community business that affects all Bakweri people, we don't go to a grave. We go to Mbando. Mbando is a spiritual connection with both God and ancestors. And so we are trying to bring back this cultural science that gives the Bakweri man full power and control over his land and his territory. But we will not stop there. We want to also make it an annual cultural event where all Bakweri sons and daughters from all the four corners of the world, irrespective if you're a single parent Bakweri child or a quarter parent Bakweri child, as long as you identify yourself with the Bakweri man, from South Africa to Finland to the USA to Bonakanda, right down to Bakingili, we'll all gather in one spot in Fako every year to celebrate this cultural event and movement.
Can you tell us what the Mbando Festival is all about?
So the Mbando Festival will be an opportunity for all sons and daughters of Bakweri, irrespective of class or level of education, to come together and sit on the same table and chat about the Bakweri man being the idiomatic Bakweri word for both man and woman, to chat about the Bakweri man and how the Bakweri man has been doing, a recollection of where we came from and where we are going. You know, it's an opportunity for us to also tie in with our diaspora. We have a lot of our children in the diaspora, so this will be an opportunity for us to come and sit together. If you just came in outside, you saw my Iwanga Malay. Those are all my Malay people. Of course, they are not of the same academic standing with me, but we found one place, one platform where we can all talk freely, irrespective of who you are and where you came from. That's how we want to make the Mbando, where everybody can come together and contribute to the forward movement of the Bakweri clan as a whole. And when I say Bakweri clan, I'm using it in a very inclusive way, meaning that Isubus of Victoria, the Wovias of Botaland and Geme, and all the Womboko people who are behind the mountain, I use that general umbrella term called Bakweri for all these groups of people.
Cutting the long story short, you're trying to let us know that it's not just going to be a festival. It's going to be a movement.
Yes.
It's something that's going to stand. It's not all about the festival and after the festival everybody leaves.
Yes.
It's going to be a memorable something that's going to last.
Right. So the Mbando is not just an event. The Mbando is a full movement of its own. The Mbando will have permanent offices where even our children who are looking for employment go there and register. We have a database of all Bakweri people and all Bakweri children. So if we are looking for a plumber to do a particular job in Miselele, we go to the Mbando secretariat and know that Mula Kinge, who is from Ekona, is a very good plumber. And so it's a way of moving the tribe as a whole forward. We are trying to replicate what we call the Israeli model, where we keep things within ourselves as a tribe to make sure that everybody within the tribe grows and has a place in society. We have this responsibility as the custodians of the culture to do that, because that's what my ancestors did. That is the Mbando. The Mbando is our own spiritual connection with each other. In different cultures, they have different ways they connect spiritually. But no matter whether you are in Germany or in Womboko or in Ifolofo, through Mbando, we'll be able to communicate with each other. It's like the umbilical cord of every Bakweri child. And so we want to bring this ancient science back. It's actually a science because it's mystical how it works. We want to bring this science back, and it involves a lot of mysticism. The mystical part, of course, I will not get you involved in it. But in the other parts which are available for everybody to see, every child to partake, we will. It's an oath that all of us are coming to take. I'll give you an example of how the Mbando was used. Each village in Bakweri culture has its own Mbando. So like in Buea town here, we have our Mbando, Ekona Lelu, they have their own Mbando. But what my ancestors had wanted, and they had documented this, was for Mbando that would tie all the Bakweri villages together as one. So that if the Bakweri man is speaking, we speak with one voice because we have one Mbando. And the Mbando could be both a shrine and also a cultural movement. For example, in Ekona Lelu, they used to have a Mbando where they had some really strong laws about what you could not do. And for men who violated this law, most of them died. Now, we will not make the Mbando that stringent because the young people they are easy to violate laws. But we are bringing in, we have a challenge in Fako now, one of the greatest being our land, the Fako land saga. It's the biggest talk on the news about Fako, the proliferation of our land. And so the Mbando will help us sort some of those problems out. And even issues that we had with chieftaincy in Fako, the Mbando will solve some of those problems really easily.
So Naliomo, please, can you tell us a little about yourself and your vision?
I am Rukambila Lindela Likenya Lyongale Bonge. I am the seventh monarch the seventh monarch, but the fifth of the Ndeli line generation, because the name Ndeli started with Libabali Ndeli. But before that, my grandfather Kwali Kenya didn't use the name Ndeli. Lyongala Kenya didn't use the name Ndeli. But my great-great-grandfather started the name Ndeli. So I'm the seventh monarch in Buea and fifth in the Ndeli generation. So I'm Chief Ndeli the fifth. I went to school here in Buea. I did 3/4 of my schooling here in Buea, or to University of Buea, where I did a first degree and a master's degree there before I left for the US. In the US, I did another master's degree in software engineering and worked as a software engineer for like 17 years. And then I decided to go back to school and I got a PhD in cybersecurity. I have a small family of 3 children, and they are still in the US and I'm here. And now I'm back home to help move my tribe forward, to help contribute not just to my tribe, but to the country as a whole, to give my own contribution to move our generation and the entire tribe forward. Because I feel this is my purpose on earth. I feel this is why I was born. I was born to solve this particular problem for my people. And so my vision is not just to return the Mbando, but also to build a multi-billion multipurpose center for the Bakweri people. I have seen that done in other tribes, and we are one of the most affluent tribes in Cameroon because we are the ones who actually brought formal education through Mr. Joseph Merrick and Alfred Sika through the shores of Bimbia. So there's more we can do than we have already done. And I'm here to help my people so that we can all join hands together and bring that full potential that I think we have not even started to explore to its completion, to full circle. So this Mbando thing is not just my thing, it's a thing for all Bakweri people. And all the chiefs of Fako gathered here in January in this same palace and agreed on the mission and agenda of the Mbando. And they've all pledged to bring their villages together. Right the way from Ngeme to Ndame to Dikolo to Bonabile to Bonangombe to Bakingili to Bonakanda, Ikonalelu, Okpango, Liroka, all the chiefs were here in this palace. And so we are bent on reviving our culture. And for now, they voted me as chairman of the steering committee to move that forward. I understand leadership is a relay race. At some point, I'll need to hand the baton to somebody. But I want to run so fast that the person taking the baton away from me will not have to run so fast, because I've already covered most of the race. That's my mission.
So please explain to us what the Mbando Festival is and what its relevance to the Bakweri community.
So the Mbando Festival itself will be an annual festival. This year, the chiefs have decided to set a timetable for it. It will be in December, the second week of December. This is an opportunity to meet and greet each other. It's an opportunity for us to sit on one table and discuss our challenges, but it's also an opportunity for people who have been working on the language. There are a number of dedicated people who have been working on improving the Bakweri language. Just as English language itself is improving and expanding, that's why you have new words like selfie, to Google something. The Bakweris, we are also working on expanding our language. There are things that were not in the Bakweri vocabulary, like television, but now we have a name for television in the Bakweri language. There are things like coronavirus. Was not in the Bakweri language, but now we have a name for that. So it's an opportunity for the people who have been expanding the language to also come to us in that cultural festival, and they'll tell us new things they've done. They've expanded the dictionary of the Bakweri man, they've created a diary, and the different directions in which they want to take the various languages. But it's not all about that. It's also a time for us to come and learn the depth of our tradition. There are things in our tradition that you don't know. There is a dance in Bakweri called Malowa. There's only one village now that performs that Malowa dance, is Mabanja. And so a lot of children growing up not knowing Malowa. It's an opportunity for everybody to come and see Malowa dance and what it takes to become a member of that sect. There are different kind of things I cannot tell you which are a little mystical, but then there are other kinds of tradition. In Dikolo, in the Maibimbia people, they have a dance called Eseve that a lot of people don't know. It's an opportunity for them to come and showcase that dance in front of their own people on that day. Unlike in 20th May, where we go dance in front of people who are not our people, this will be an opportunity for us to do our things for ourselves to ourselves. We will sit on the same table and say, okay, we want to start a cultural library. When my late father, Samuel Mukamwoli Babalendeli, the previous Paramount Chief, died, his ekoto that he wore, we want to put it in a place where young women like you can come and see, this was the crown that Chili Babalendeli wore. How about Gevashon Belendeli, who died in 1982 and the mountain erupted? You don't know him. It's an opportunity for you to come and see the lianjo that he had in his hand when he died before the mountain started erupting. So we want to build a cultural library that will encompass everything. Mokowe, Morai, Likpenji, all those things that Bakweri children of now don't know. We want to put all those things in a cultural library to show how the Bakweri man lived. Now those things still exist, but they are not in one place. For you to see Mba, you have to go to Bukbango. Likpenji, you have to go to Onyamongo. But we want to put them all in one place where all our children can come and know who they are, where they come from, and where they are going to.
So what does the Mbando aim to achieve?
That's a very good question. One, the Mbando is trying to bring back our identity, who we are. The Bakweri man, we had almost lost our identity. We're not sure who we were anymore. But the Mbando is a reinforcement of that identity of who we are. And it's also an opportunity for all Bakweri children to talk directly to their gods. Bakweri have a Baramote, who is a god of the mountain, who have Liengulang Manja. Because generally in Bakweri mythology, Bakweri people only have two directions in their compass, north and south. That's why Ekona Lelu and Ekona Mbenge. So we have the god of the mountain who is north and the god of the sea who is south. And so it's a time for us to come together. Now, what we achieve with this Mbando is that one will bring awareness, will bring also an opportunity for us to assert our presence as the owners of the land in Fako. The land under our feet belongs to us. It's an opportunity for us to show our force as the people who own this land. Moreover, it's also an opportunity for us to create opportunities of connection with other tribes. Other people use their cultural activity to create liaison with other communities. The Mbando aims to also bring that sister-sister relationship with other tribes and other communities. So we'll be inviting different people, different chiefs from different places to come and witness and know the culture of the Bakweri people. But it's not just about that also. It's also a time for the entire nation of Cameroon to know who we are, what we do, what we are made of, and the different abilities, strengths, and traditions that we have. And then above all, it's just a matter of connecting us, what would Bakweri call mulataku. It's a matter of connecting us in a spiritual manner that we've not had in a really long time. It's a science, like I said, it's a mystical science. And we want to revive and reactivate this mystical science because our parents did it. And they were very worried that we've relegated it so much in the back that it would take time to reactivate it. So we are bringing all the best medicine men in Bakweri together. It's a time for, if you're a medicine man in Bakweri land, to come and show your strength on that day. So this is what the Mbando is all about. Eke manali na nge na yuna elma renje na RMBT. Welimo bako na waralowe ali nimba eke manali na nge. But inge badjama kekire na yuna elma oli rangawa to yo komabunda. But mame na lute lote na ngwe mami libo menene Mbando na yuna elma eya enema vato ware emokware wa marana elma itimire ine yaru ya Mbando. Winga nate no umbengubu no akingili ninge bara atoke na yokili lowire ne munyanya ngema waba linge bara nate no umbuko ekinge ya umbuko ya bulobo moba mukyunu woba reba wobi ngima mokona elma itimbire ni ine yaru winga nubi monyengi ongwima na elma tone oilingma mbunake na ngma vitatu bote lowa ele manyu na ibaramote na lengulang manja na welimo yakwe na wina elmaini ya ijuka no olihuku.
How profitable is this partnership? Partnering with this whole Mbando festival?
Well, the Mbando, like I said, will be the greatest movement that has ever happened in Fako division. It will be, if you saw my coronation, how it was, and the coronation of Limbe, multiply that by 4. That's how big the Mbando will be. And so we are calling on all the stakeholders of our land, from the people who work in telecom and those who work in design of male and female fabric, to those who are even involved with the production of media, that this is a time for all of them to come and partner with us. Because it's not just a one-time event, this is a continuous event. So we want to create partnerships that stand permanent and that are sustainable here. Because the Mbando is not just a cultural festival, we're also building a multipurpose center. And I want people to come there and feel free to take certain sections of it and own naming rights for it, so that they make their presence permanently felt in Fako division. So that the people, the Bakweri people, feel that they have a good relationship with them. And I've heard a few companies who have come and accepted that they would even want to build part of the library or part of the cultural museum or conference halls. So that they own naming rights. In the Western world, that is how it's done. There is a stadium in Atlanta which is called the Mercedes-Benz Stadium. It's built by the Mercedes company itself. In the Minnesota, in the US, there's another field there stadium which is called US Bank, built by bank, and the bank owns naming rights. We want to bring that kind of partnership in Buea. We want certain sections of our heritage in Buea to be named after prominent partners who have come to stay within our locality. Up just by the governor's office, close to the mountain, there's a fountain there called Bismarck Fountain. That was a gentleman who never really stepped foot in Cameroon, but his people came. And they made permanent partnerships in Cameroon. They built us the Prime Minister's Lodge, which is one of the most beautiful houses we have in Fako. And they named part of that Otto von Bismarck, who was a chancellor at the time in Germany. We want more than that. As much as we want to also erect statues for our prominent people like Kuali Kenye and Emmanuel Mbelali Babalendeli, we also want partnerships with people who can come and, like I always say, New York was never built by just the Americans. The Chinese built, the Germans, the Russians. That's what we are looking for in Fako. Permanent partnerships. And in return, they will get our full cooperation as the custodians of the land. And so we're able to rally our people behind them for anything they want, provided it maintains the integrity and the vision of the Bakweri man.
Thank you very much. So what do you say would be the necessities? What are the needs required for this festival to be a success?
The needs are varied, but they are I can summarize it with you. One, we want every child who is a Bakweri child to start planning to be here in December. Start making your travel plans now. If you're in Bagante, or you're in Kusiri, or you're in Texas, or you're in South Africa, start making travel plans. The chiefs of FACO have set a tentative date of the Mbando for the second week of December. It will be a week-long event. We want every Bakweri child to be present. Secondly, we want all the local indigenes within FACO to start organizing themselves into sub-divisional groups and start planning on the Mbando how to raise funds for this event. Because it's an event that we need to raise funds to also build our multipurpose center. We want a permanent structure that will be the center where we will erect statues for our prominent heroes in Bakweri land. Our own place in our own land, we want it. And thirdly, the Bakweri has a number of pillars, which is the wrestling Werua, the Malay, Nganya, the core dances, then you have the Elongis, and then you have the traditional dances. I'm calling on all the Elongis in FACO, every Bakweri traditional group, choir, Mulongo Memeloke, Baya, to start galvanizing and start planning for this Mbando. These are things we must all hold hands together to make this a success. It's like a relay race where if one person is down, the relay race actually loses. We all have to cross the finish line together as a team. We cannot let down. So I'm calling on every child who identifies himself with FACO division, right from Motombolombo in Tiko to Holford to Mongo, all the way down, all the way to Moyuka to Babenga, Ekata Munyenge, to Mokunda Mokboya, Mokunda Mombenge. Start planning for the Mbando. We are looking for a fabric. Some people are working for a common Bakweri fabric that every Bakweri child will wear on that day. And that will be a fabric for every activity that we do. When you wear it, that's our plan.
So how prepared are our chiefs?
I'm hoping that you're going to interview some of the chiefs after this too. But we all met here, all the chiefs of FACO. Like I said, all the four corners from Moyuka was here, Tiko subdivision was here, Limbe subdivision was here, and all the way behind the mountain, Bomboku. All the chiefs gathered here in January. And they have even made an initial commitment of how much each chief's village will bring. There are over 100 villages in FACO that have chiefs. And each of those chiefs have taken a commitment by classification of chieftaincy, how much each of them are bringing to the Mbando. We are bent on this. We are not going backwards. They say in the Bible that he who holds the plow and keeps looking back is not fit for the kingdom of God. So we are not looking backwards. We are digging and plowing forward.
To conclude, what message do you have for the Bakweri people?
Natala teke unyanyango na unyamwe kokwa kunalema ewo tiali ungirene. Iwanja ene ya Mbando munu mwamene igbengi Mbando. Inga natala teke unyanyango na elema iwo tiala rangane lichakumene ene ya ne ingi Mbando iwe ya umananu ya rena lowe.
Wala buwan, wala buwan. Make you